Merry Christmas Eve. Welcome to the Paradigm Shift, episode 92. 92 weeks in a row, consecutively. No weeks off. Big Dave, I see you, I love you, I acknowledge you. We have a really special guest on today that I'm very excited about. And I'll tell you why in just a moment. A young stud coming on right now. And it's interesting, Dave, because you and I have had on some of the world's biggest names, such as Danica Patrick, Rob Dyrdek. But I know you and I always get excited when we have an up-and-coming young stud and Merry Christmas, everybody. Drop in the chats what your plans are for tonight. We'd love to know. How handsome is this cat going to look right now? I love you so much. It's weird. Should I pull back or press forward?
Press forward.
Okay. What do you got?
Be more interested than interesting.
Of course. I couldn't see because there was so many comments, but yeah. You're looking mighty handsome, if I don't say so myself.
Got done my workout. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, hell yeah. Merry Christmas Eve. Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah. You know, I'm celebrating something new this year. It's the day before Christmas Eve. It's called Christmas Adam. It came before Christmas Eve. You eat ribs. You have apple pie. It's an extraordinary event. But in the theme of celebrating everything celebratable, in the theme of my miracle training that I did to teach people to find the light, the love, the lessons, and the miracle of giving, receiving, and witnessing, the 5 benefits of such, I just want to wish you the happiest of holidays, my fine feathered friend.
Thank you so much, Big Dave. I received all that and right back at you. Doing life with you has been one of the most exciting, fun, special, meaningful relationships of my life, and we're just getting warmed up. So happy holidays to you, my friend, you Sex Panther.
Thank you very much, man. I'm excited to have our young rising star. I'm in a position where I consider you a young rising star. So this is one of your young rising stars, improving, empowering others to empower others to make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun. So thank you for providing this platform for everyone, my brother.
Hell yeah. And Zach, we're going to bring you on in about 3 minutes. And it's funny, Dave, because I'll never forget when I was on your podcast, The Playbook, a little while back, and Entrepreneur, you said to me, and now I get it. You said to me, of all the names and your network and so forth, what excites you most is when you have an up-and-coming lion, a stud, a world shaker. And now I get it. I feel the same. But before we bring him on, I'm going to dive into you a little bit. You ready for me?
I'm ready for you. I feel you, brother. Let's make it happen.
You were talking about how holidays are the time for miracles. Please explain.
So a miracle is an unexpected, extraordinary, inexplicable event, development, or circumstance. And the problem with miracles is the same thing we have in aggregating behavior. And what I mean by that is the human capability is not aware of miracles. So it takes 2 things, and it's the same 2 things that it takes when we look to aggregate good behavior, because good behavior, we are unaware, the human being that we are is unaware and not capable of identifying progress either. And progress, if you remember in the definition of miracle, development. See, miracles are unexpected, inexplicable, extraordinary developments, creating welcome coincidences. And so what happens is we have to be cognitive of our own awareness that we are not capable of being aware of the incremental development that is created by source miracles or self miracles, which are defined as inexplicable, extraordinary developments or progress. And so what happens is if we create or co-create with positivity, with good behavior, we're unaware of the progress of that good behavior. And we have to have 2 things, faith and access. And the accessibility of not only accessing the inspiration, intellect, and intuition that has been blessed to us, but being accessible like you are to Zach, accessible to others as well, so that you, Craig Siegel, the eagle, can be an influencer, not an influencer, spreading dis-ease, or are you spreading ease? And I would venture to say on this holiday, that may we all have faith and access in order to create the inexplicable, the extraordinary, to understand the progress and developments of the welcome coincidences that we want. So stop the negative behavior, because you're not going to be aware of those aggregating, accumulating developments that won't be so extraordinary, but instead they will be for the influencers spreading the dis-ease, the interference between you and your higher self, your greater self. And I just want to welcome everyone into the world of miracles. Give, receive, and witness such. And I promise you, you'll become more aware of the developments of the welcome coincidences, of the results that you wish for, or even better.
We need to take that 3-minute sound bite and repurpose it everywhere. I specifically would love to have it as an alarm clock. That was unbelievable stuff. You really are a beautiful, wise walrus, my friend. Let's bring on Zach and let's get this party started. I'm really excited for this. That was awesome.
Nice, man. Let's heat it up. It's the holidays, everyone. Let's heat it up.
And drop in the chats what you guys have going on for Christmas Eve. Dave and I would love to know.
Or what you did for Christmas, Adam, too. Some ribs, apple pie. Everybody follow me, Adam before Eve. Anybody out there laughing?
Hey guys, how's it going?
What's up, Zach?
Good morning.
Zach, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be on this show today. Thank you guys for having me.
And let me just tell the audience how Zach and I met. I did a little speaking engagement at Baruch College. Is it your uncle, Zach?
It's my brother-in-law.
His brother-in-law was the
my
teacher of the
husband.
entrepreneurial class that I was teaching. And he's like, I love what you're about. I love what you're doing. My brother-in-law's got something really cool going on. Let me connect you to. And here we are. And what Zach has created is really special. In a day and age when a lot of people are becoming influencers or influencers, as Dave like to say, and blowing up, you've done something really cool, Zach. And we don't typically do this, but I want the audience who might not be familiar with you from Dave and I's side, tell us a little bit about what you started over the last 2 years.
Yeah, so over the last 2 years, I started just cooking a lot more. Started during COVID. I was, like many of us, bored with my life. So I just spontaneously decided to start a food Instagram. And in the beginning, it wasn't about posting content. It was really just about like posting pictures of stuff that I was making. And I got inspired from other people on TikTok and Instagram posting videos of their dishes. So about a year and a half ago, I started like experimenting with food content creation, and I like never looked back since. Started out with no intentions or goals whatsoever, just to try it out, you know, and I just never looked back since. And I just over time got better at it. I wanted to improve my craft. I challenged myself to make better dishes, but more so like the whole world of film production and the videography was so new to me. So that was really my biggest focus in the beginning, like learning how to produce a good video. And that's still my biggest goal right now. So yeah, like a year and a half later, my following has just like started exploding very recently, like over the last 6 months, and I'm blessed and I'm so grateful to be able to do something that I love, you know. I just graduated school this week actually, so it's awesome that you guys are having me on your show right now. Studied computer science at the University of Maryland, and I will not, at this moment, I'm not going to be like pursuing that path. Open to whatever might come down the line, but right now it's all about just getting my name out there and continuing to produce content. I also do private dinners on the side I just did one last night. If you want to look at my story on IG, I have a bunch of videos of food up there. But yeah, it's been a wild ride.
And you're just getting warmed up. And
yeah.
And
Dave,
I knew you were going to love this one, because I remember when we were in Portugal and you were going on a little bit of rant, like there's no excuses this day and age with all the resources if you want something to step into it, right?
Yeah. Well, I think, you know, this is a classic example of what, Craig, you and I try to inspire and empower people to do. And it's, number one, very difficult, Zach, when you're young to do it, and it's finding your essence. People talk about authenticity and
Yeah.
then they try to fake it, which is ironic in its own nature. But authenticity is derived
Uh,
from your skills, your knowledge, and your desire. And what Zach's been able to do, and what I find most enlightening about how he has developed, how he has progressed, is he said, "Oh, you know, in over the last 6 months, it's really exploded." No, it's been exploding ever since you started capturing your essence, modifying it appropriately, amplifying it, because you just weren't aware of the progress. It's an exact example of what I was talking about before. The miracle that Zach is experiencing now is his essence in the stage theory. Shakespeare said the whole world's your stage. So let's capture what we do. Let's capture our essence. Let's modify it appropriately for TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Reels, Facebook fan page, whatever you may be in your community may be interested in. And then more importantly, you know, let's go ahead and amplify it through that community. Well, if you only have 2 people in the community amplifying you, you're not going to be aware of the amplification. When you start getting to 2,000 people, you might be aware. And when you get to 20,000, you will be aware. And 200,000, everybody else will be aware. So that's what's happening to Zach in the last 6 months, is because he's enjoying the consistent, persistent pursuit of his potential. He knows his essence. He's practicing, capturing, modifying, amplifying, and now even perpetuating it, where he now says, go to my Instagram and look at my Christmas Adam party last night, and I'll show you some great delectables that are experienced and enjoyed. And if that resonates with you, share it with your friends. And his business will grow, his brand will grow, and he will make more people happy and make more money. And guess what? Have more fun. So Zach, thank you for being a case study for what I teach, and keep up the great work.
Yeah, hell yeah. And Zach, before you go in, and what's so cool is you said you don't even know 100%
yeah.
what's next, but you're available and you're building your brand,
No.
and it's going to create so many opportunities for you.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just looking for clues along the way. The unknown is very scary at times, but that's also where you find the most self-development. And that's also, I would like to think of myself as a spiritual person. So when you're aware and when you're open, that's how I'm going to allow my higher self to lead me through the entire process.
Dave,
I'm just going to be looking for clues along the way.
frequencies, your neighborhood, or what?
Yeah, man. Well, I just the fact that he said clues, right? I try myself to tell people, hey, let's at a young age,
Yeah.
let's look for clues, then look for patterns, then make our choices. Too many people are making choices off of indications that aren't even clues, let alone patterns. And so to have that open-minded, open-hearted, and open-handed perspective will only accelerate with statistical success where Zach is going, because he's on a trajectory. He's not attached to an outcome. He's on a trajectory to accelerate.
Exactly. Yeah.
Beautifully said.
No,
No,
you're
Sorry, I
good,
didn't mean
man.
to cut you off.
I'm,
I was just agreeing.
anybody that wants to agree,
Yeah.
anyone who wants to agree with me can
That's
interrupt
the
me
thing.
anytime. If you
Yeah.
disagree, fuck off. Kidding. I'm kidding.
No, I would.
but Zach,
Yeah, I would actually love to talk about detachment, because that for me has been the biggest thing along the process. Because in the beginning, like, I was very attached to view counts and all those numbers. And it's funny because, like, when I really have been, like, the last couple months working on that detachment and not caring about the number. But the ironic part is that once I started working on that detachment, that's when I started
that's how
seeing
it
the
works,
most
right?
success.
Dave, marry the process, divorce the outcome, because what he really did was he got rid of the interference, right?
Yeah, but I mean, just the fact that we have Zach on here
Yeah,
is
100%.
proof that Craigie Poo has moved past the attachment that we have to have every single Austin Eckler, you know, Tim Story. We have to have everybody that everybody knows. I have built my brand by not only utilizing and attaching those outcomes, but the process of, this is interesting. This relates to more people than, you know, people that sit in a situation that you may never get into, an outcome that you may never get into. Everybody here can relate and should be inspired by Zach, because think about what his skills, knowledge, and desire are. They're much broader and much more attainable than being the all-pro running back Austin Eckler, or the Indy 500 champion of Danica Patrick, or a world thought leader, whoever else has been on here. And so I really have encouraged this guy up here, since we've started working together, to detach from the outcome. And Zach, I would love, and I rarely ask questions, but I'm just really curious, because I have my own 23, 21, and 18-year-olds. I get where you're at in life, and their friends all want to work with us and do all this stuff, but I have a difficult time explaining the reconciliation, meaning that people think because I say marry yourself to the process, or detach your emotions from an outcome, that I don't have goals. But you really resonated when I said Zach's on a trajectory. You really resonated with that. If you were talking to a buddy from another Terp, if you were talking to another University of Maryland person, and they said, dude, you don't have goals, how would you explain the process that you've gone through when you detach your emotions from the outcome, but you probably, have more activity in a day than most people your age. You have free will, you work, you have extreme focus and attention and intention on what you're doing, but you've detached. How do you explain that to kids your age?
Great question, Dave. Zach, go ahead.
He didn't pay his internet bill. He just graduated.
Well, you guys hear me right now? Sorry,
No,
you guys
you're freezing probably where you're at.
Yeah, okay, I heard.
His frequency is so strong that it's disrupting the Wi-Fi.
Or it's so cold the Wi-Fi is frozen.
True.
Yeah. So about that, how I detached, it's like really all about the process of creation. Like that's why we're here in the first place. I believe is we're here to be creators. So creators don't necessarily want to care about an end result too much, because that's just saying no to like the other infinite possibilities out there. Because you might think that what you want is what's best for you, but sometimes that's not the case, because a lot of the times things have gone opposite of the way I wanted, and they ended up proving to be the best thing that happened to me. I'll give you an example even. So about it, like last summer going into my senior year of college, I got rejected from every single software engineering internship. So I put matters in my own hands. I was like, okay, what can I do at this point? So I ended up starting a meal kit business from my home for the summer. And I was grocery shopping, creating menus, cooking, and then delivering everything myself. It was a lot of work. And at that time, I wasn't planning on pursuing food as a career. So I kind of saw it as something that yeah, I'm not really adding on to my resume for my next job, but it is what it is. But if it weren't for that summer, I wouldn't have really discovered how passionate I was about cooking. And also, it helped me really work on my craft as a cook, because I was working 8-9 hours a day just cooking. And it ended up being the most important summer to me. A summer that I thought was a lost summer ended up being the most important summer to me. And that was just proof. I think it's hard to sit here and lecture other people on yeah, it's all about the process, and it's not about the end result, and what you think might not be the best for you. But I think the only proof is in your own experiences, to reflect on your own experience, because that's how the best lessons stick, is through experience, not just someone telling you, you know?
This is an awesome conversation, and I couldn't help but think of Dave's voice, protected and propelled.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Having faith. My bankruptcy in 2008, losing over $100 million is one of the greatest things that would have happened to me. And I was going to also add, that's why it's so difficult for young people, right? I'm turning 55 years old, January 11th. So anyone want to send me a present, I'm a receiver. So I'll give it away when I receive it. But think about, Zach, you're 22. Yeah. Think about it.
Yeah.
The experiences that I've had from 22 to 55, 33 years, and yet you have had this much experience with your internship, and you were blessed to get rejected. You were blessed to be able to say, wait a second, if the universe is telling me no, 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 maybe there's something better, a better place, a better position, or a better situation, because I have faith I'm being protected and promoted and propelled, not punished. And that was true when I applied to law school. That was true when I went bankrupt. It has been true with business clients of mine and even coaching clients. I used to get upset when a coaching client would tell me, go to blame, shame, and justification. The coaching clients that aren't doing the consistent, persistent work like Craig has done, right? And they'll tell me they go the extra mile every once in a while, and I'll fire them or they'll fire me. And every single time I'm so much better off because the new client that I'm able to take from my wait list is so much more aligned and better and rewarding, right? I get way more out of Craigie Poo than anyone else because he will listen, and he's a test dummy for me. And I stress dummy. He is a test dummy for me. He will do what I say, and then I'll say, see, that works. And he's my case study immediately. So keep that perspective. It's the most valuable thing you can have, that you're always protected and promoted. Look for the clues, the patterns, and the choices. You're going to be an incredible brand. You're going to empower so many people. You're so young. Remember the doubling effect. If you're where you are today and it took you that long to take half the time, and even if it takes half the time to get to double where you are, think how many more doubles you're going to have in your career that I've had in mine. I've only been on the doubling journey for 16, soon to be 17 years. Think about it. You're only going to be 39 years old instead of 55. Then it's going to double again and again. It's going to be extraordinary. Keep your eyes and ears peeled to Zach. Man, you're incredible. I'd love to do more with you as well.
And also, real quick, David,
Thank you.
just happened to me with a client,
Thank
and then
you.
I became available for the right one to come in. And before we land the plane, this was an awesome conversation. And David, so true. Like, I am learning, and this is more valuable to an extent to our audience. But I have to ask Zach this. What is the deal with that healthy chocolate pudding?
Whoa!
I'll be completely honest. I didn't invent that. I got approached by the brand of hemp seeds that I used for that video. It was a brand deal, and they wanted me to make something cool with hemp seeds. And I know chia pudding is a thing, so I was like, oh, maybe there's such thing as hemp pudding. So I looked it up online, and I found the recipe. It wasn't even my own recipe. So easy, just like blend together a couple of ingredients, and it's delicious. I still make it for myself now.
Dave, you just lit up.
Yeah, no, I'm hoping he can make me some like ayahuasca or mushroom pudding would be amazing. And the after effects would, I think, appeal to a whole different generation and different community. But it's amazing, man. Keep up the great work. This is a classic proof of the stage theory, and also Shakespeare's favorite line, to thine own self be true. Find your skills, your knowledge, your desire. Be aware of the clues, the patterns, and make the right choices to accelerate in the right direction. He is a miracle. Zach is creating miracles, and keep your awareness there, man. We'll amplify your content any time of the week. I look forward to meeting you in person when I come back east. And thank you for as well giving my man Craig Siegel a platform to empower others at your brother-in-law's school. So I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, and Zach, we'll connect after. For the audience listening, go check out what Zach's got going on. Both of you guys, happy holidays. Thank you so much for joining us. Love you both.
Happy holidays. Thank you guys for having me. I had a great time.
Bless you guys.
God bless
you.
Hey,
Craigie Poo. I got one thing to add.
Yeah.
I just realized when Jack came on and I showed my pill of thrill, that, as you get older, all of a sudden you just kind of work one muscle group. So like guys over 50, you'll notice they just work their biceps. I'm getting so old, I only work one bicep now. This is all I do all day long. One bicep.
Pill of thrill?
Pill of thrill. Yeah, this is the pill of thrill right here.
That's awesome. Right. Love you guys. Have a good weekend.
Stay blessed.
You too.
Paradigm Shift episode 92 in the books. We'll be back next week. The Paradigm Shift episode 93. And God willing, to episode 1000. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. If you don't know Zach, you do now. Go check out his content. He's on TikTok, his Instagram. It's awesome. Like David tested to, he's a shining example of what you can do in 2023 to be resourceful, to double down on your passions, to make a career out of it, to combine making an impact and making a lucrative living. It's just awesome to watch. It's funny because I feel like the old veteran now, and I'm only 2 years into this too. But I just love to give others a platform and just showcase what's possible. Dave, as always, thank you so much. My partner in crime, I love you guys so much. If you're not already in the Texas community at the bottom, text the number, totally free. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy Hanukkah. Have an unbelievable holiday. And we'll see you guys next week. You dig?